So here we go. We are going to eliminate this problem in here. Let me show you again. The problem will be this text on the right, okay? And this will only happen when you are browsing the design inside devices, which are going to have a screen size below 480. Now, in order for you to fix this, you will need to eliminate the inline label style float left, because if you make a selection in here, right click and view selection source, let me show you what we are going to have. You are going to be able to see this inline label style float left, and if you don't change this one, you are not going to be able to fix this problem, because every time that you want to apply any other style, this inline label style will take precedence. So you will need to go inside the administrator and then go to content, and we are going to go to article manager. Inside here we are going to click on options, and then we are going to go to editing, layout, and click inside the full text image float and click on left and change that one to none. Then we are going to click save, go back to the front end, and we are going to refresh. If everything went right, what will happen is that this text will move all the way down here, okay? So let me click refresh. There you have it. Now here's what I am going to do, because I will need to, let me double check going back to the main block, so everything will be fine, because I need to make sure that I am not affecting this design at all. Everything will be fine. So let me go to block title 6, and this time I will need to make a selection again and right click and view selection source. Let me scroll down and analyze. This will be the new class image full text none, okay? So let's go back, and we are going to go down here. Instead of having the left in here, we are going to change that to none, and we are going to apply a float. In this case will be the left. Let me write down left, and that will be fine. Let me copy all this, because what we are going to be doing in here is only applying the float left inside screen sizes 480 pixels and beyond, okay? Everything below 480 won't have any float. So again, copy all this and change this float to none. Then we are going to scroll down and find the 480 in here. Let's click enter and Ctrl V. Now we are going to click Ctrl S, and again everything before the 480 and beyond, okay? We are going to go to 580, 680, 780. All those dimensions are going to have the float left property, and everything below the float none will be applied. Let me right click, hold on, this one here, right click and upload. Click OK to replace, and we are going to refresh. Well, in this case we are not achieving the effect we want in here. Let me make a selection, right click and view selection source. And well, here will be the problem. We are going to have now, instead of the inline label style float left, we are going to have the float none. Now the only option in here so far, and what I can think right away, will be a template. Well, in this case will be a component override. Okay, we will need to create a template, an override inside the component content, and let me show you. Now this will come to you when you gain more experience, and believe me, it is going to be really easy. So let me create a connection, and public HTML. Let me go back CMS teachings, and inside the components, then inside content, this will be the component that will be creating all the content. and inside the views in here, let's go to article and TMPL. This will be a template override, and inside the default you are going to be downloading this file. Next, you are going to need to open that file inside Komodo. Click open and file. Let me go and find that file, default. Click open, and there we are. Now the problem in here will be the inline label style, okay? This one in here. So we will need to eliminate whatever PHP code is creating this inline label style. And if you notice, we are going to have the source attribute in here inside the image, and everything will be inside the division class. And we are going to copy all this, Control C. Then we are going to go back to Komodo and click Control F. Down here we are going to paste, and as you can see, let me click next so I can make sure that this will be the only one. So here we are. This will be the division, and this will be the PHP code that will be changing the class. In this case, you are going to have none, left, or right, and inside that division you are going to have the image in here, as you can see, and this will be the source code. And before the source code, you are going to have all this PHP code, which will be creating the inline label style. If you eliminate all that code, okay, let me backspace, there we are, and we are going to click Control S. Then we are going to create a new folder. Let me go back. It will become content and article. So let me go to my template and templates, then whatever name you are using inside your template, and HTML. Come content, then article, and inside here you are going to upload the new content. But you will need to, well, the new default.php. But because you already have this default.php, you will need to be careful with this, because last time what we did actually was changing the h2 element to h1. Now let me show you. Up here should be the h1. Well, in this case the h2 element. Let me click Control F and type h2. This will be the h2 element right here. Now let me see if we have another one. Control F, h2. Let me backspace h2. Click next, next, and that will be all. Let me download this default so I can make sure. Right click and download. Let me go and find that specific file so I can double check. So I can double check the changes that I am going to be applying. Let me check in here. Well, right now I cannot really notice the difference. So here's what I am going to do. Let me go back in here, and we are going to rename this one Alt. Okay, click enter, going back, default, find the new one with the new modification, which won't have the inline label style, and click upload. Now we change the name on this one because we want to keep the file in there, just in the case the other file won't be working in the way we want. Click refresh, and now as you can see, everything will be working fine. But the title now will be a h2 element. Let me right click and view selection source. This will be the h2 element, so that will be fine. So we will need to only change this h2 to h1 and h1. Let's click Ctrl S to save the document, and we are going to upload everything again. Click OK and refresh. Check what will happen with this title. Did you notice? Now it will become again the h1 element that we want to have inside this block layout. So finally, let me show you what we are going, well actually I think that will be all, because let me move the size in here. Let me go below, clicking here, resize and window 480. If we go below 480, all this text will have the float none, and it will move down below the image. Let me go below. There you are. As you can see, now we are going to have a better design in here. Okay, so for this video that will be it, and let's move on.